Bonjour à toutes et bonjour à tous. Et bienvenue, bienvenue à CHAM 2021. Quelle joie de vous retrouver, même si nous portons encore un masque, vous comprendrez bien qu'on ne pourrait se permettre d'avoir un cluster dans une réunion sur la santé. Mais quelle joie de vous retrouver tous et toutes pour discuter pendant 2 jours d'un thème majeur. One Earth, une seule terre. One heart, un seul cœur, je veux dire une seule communauté planétaire. One health, une seule santé, humaine, animale, végétale et environnementale. Voilà le projet magistral dont nous allons débattre pendant ces 2 jours. Si l'humanité représente une infime partie de la biomasse terrestre très largement dominée par les végétaux, suivis des bactéries et des champignons. Les bipèdes interrogateurs que nous sommes n'en ont pas moins été capables de profondément abîmer l'astre qui les héberge par l'utilisation massive de produits toxiques accompagnés d'une accumulation d'innombrables déchets dépassant nos seuls besoins afin de satisfaire nos folles envies. Plus de 2 tiers des maladies infectieuses humaines ont une origine animale, zoonoses qui surgissent au fur et à mesure de l'accroissement de la population mondiale, du développement des industries, de l'intensification des transports, de la multiplication des concentrations urbaines, à l'origine de la dégradation de l'environnement. Aujourd'hui, l'humanité produit chaque année plus de 30 milliards de tonnes d'objets faits de béton, suivis de gravier, de briques, d'asphalte, de métaux, de plastique, de bois et de verre que l'on ne sait presque pas recycler. Dans cette course insensée ou toujours plus matérielle, les professionnels du soin humain et animal que nous sommes, dont la vocation est de préserver et de rétablir l'état de bonne santé des êtres vivants, doivent s'interroger à leur tour sur leur propre mode de production, de transport, d'architecture et d'organisation,
organization, architecture, in order to prevent or at any rate limit the occurrence of all forms of excesses, deviations, and ecologic maltreatment. Bearing in mind that the healthcare sector in France employs 2 million people, i.e. more than 7% of jobs in France, we have vets and doctors, and if we do nothing to counteract these nuisances, we have to think about the 120,000 social jobs, 650,000 farmers, and fishermen, so 10% of the jobs in France. And if we do nothing to counteract these nuisances, we are exposing ourselves to future health crises which are far more serious and which will accompany the deepening climatic variations, pandemics, and agro-food and industrial pollution. Noise and smoke from combustion engines and the industry processing plastic are worse than other dangers that are no worse than other dangers that threaten us. The unhealthy increase in the speed of our actions in all fields, association with the loss of cycles is very important. We have lost our 24-hour cycles induced by our screens and the permanent lighting of urban concentrations and hiding the Milky Way, by the way. And this requires a considerable expenditure of energy, but these new silent aggressions disrupt our biological bodies and disrupt our cellular clocks. The profusion of pixels, lux, and decibels could well prove to be far more harmful to our health than the fine particles released by fossil fuels. Should we be pessimistic? Scientific knowledge and progress and its technological applications and medicine have enabled us to double our life expectancy in less than 2 centuries, and this is very important. It has lifted hundreds of millions of men, women, and children out of extreme poverty and cured patients of previously incurable diseases. This progress, of which vaccination is one of the most emblematic examples, should continue and grow, but it also carries in its wake a number of nuisances, like an army on a campaign trail with its looting and typhus. We cut down forests, we pollute, and we disrupt biodiversity and degrade our environment by polluting seas and the rivers and the ocean. So what can we do? There is no other policy. We don't have too many options. We have to pursue and deepen our understanding of the universe and its inhabitants by sharing the fruits of fundamental and applied research with the human and financial resources which are needed to explore it and further. At the same time, we need to adopt techniques that respect nature, not so much by promoting a return to the scythe, the plough and the horse-drawn carriage, as Yves Cochet advocates, but by rethinking our personal and communal lifestyle in a responsible economy that serves all. We also need to improve our means of prevention and care while respecting the planet ecosystem to which we are intimately linked. This is our top priority. Now, it is a huge, both huge and complex task, because it is not a matter of decreasing, but rather investing differently. So not decreasing our investments, but investing differently in new, clean industries in order to produce less polluting goods. Health must no longer be thought in terms of expenditure, but in terms of investment. We have to think that it is the most beautiful economy serving human beings, living beings, and we must invest in the long term. This is a Copernic-like revolution, and it is very dangerous that we measure the dangers but do not try to evolve. Alors, as the General de Gaulle said, let us break down the walls that isolate the academic world from the business world. Let's break down the walls that separate the public and private sectors. Let's strengthen the links between the medical and paramedical industries, working hand in hand with the veterinary and environmental worlds, as well as with technology and medical device companies, just as with the pharmaceutical companies. And let us not listen to the false prophets who refuse these indispensable collaborations in order to defend their own little backyard because they want to be independent. No, much to the contrary. We have to work hand in hand to improve our destiny. There is no other priority. We should work all together and change the way we think and the way we act. And we have to humbly admit that we are only elements among others in a phenomenally powerful universe. Mere elements within the millions of species that inhabit the Earth, perhaps, but the most accomplished of living beings in their complexity, fully aware of their responsibility, which is all the more overwhelming because we are the only ones able to transform our environment for good or for ill. Let us promote the spirit of a single health to respect everyone. This is what we are supposed to do, and I would like to thank you for your attention.